Today I'm be sharing with you my Nightmare Boss Killer deck, ideally for Hoffman, but can be used with other characters. I've noticed a lot of people using Glass Cannon. It's just not necessary. If you're not familiar, liking and commenting on the video can help the video, so it is appreciated, but let's get right into the build. So this is ideally used with the 2-deck glitch right now. Use a DPS build and use this boss killer deck, and you can kill bosses and you'll have the DPS to kill all the enemies as well. But you could have this as a primary deck as well. You're just not going to have DPS, you're going to be all grenades. So first off, obviously, Bomb Squad, 100% explosive, 35% explosive resistance. Next up, double grenade pouch, 2 offensive inventory, need that. Minus 10% damage dealt, whatever. We got 2 more grenades that are going to hit super hard. Next up, 75% accessory damage. Next up, offensive scavenger, so we can get more if we have to throw them. Next up, demolition expert, 50% accessory damage. We're not really guns. 15% ammo, negative ammo is fine. Fire in the hole at this point, so we stay alive while we're throwing grenades, and we can run back after throwing the grenades if we have to run in and kill the boss. Next up, down in front. Now, down in front could be moved up, but this is a nightmare build, and most people on Act 1 or Act 2, and if you've already going for the Zwats and everything, you'll all put continues on, you'll fail. So you get 7 cards very quickly. You should have down in front before you're even really starting to play the game. Or you just play out the first mission, which you can't get a boss on anymore. So I have down in front in the 7th position. You will need down in front if you're throwing grenades anywhere near teammates. You must have down in front and be crouched when you throw your grenades, or you will kill your teammates. Next up, we have Hyper Focus, 50% weak spot damage, negative speed while shooting or meleeing, not negative speed while throwing grenades, so we don't really care. Next up, we have Grenade Training for another 25%. Next up, we have another offensive inventory. Next up, we have 30% weak spot damage. Not personally sure whether 25% accessory damage or 30% weak spot damage is better. You could move up the weak spot and test that for yourself. At this point, you're killing them within a couple frags anyway. If you're already at like uncommon or rare, you're killing the breaker in 2 to 5 frags, so really doesn't make much of a difference. Next up, we have Ridden Slayer for more weak spot damage. Next up, we're going to take the team offensive, and you might be wondering, why are we taking the team offensive so late? Because we want all the damage, a little bit of survivability before taking the extra frag, because we already got a couple of frags, and we can have somebody carry a frag or 2 for us already, so we don't need to take that negative 10% health early. We can take that late. Now, if you're running a shotgun build or an SMG build, which I wouldn't recommend, but if you're going to run the shotgun build, you can disable your aim down sights and take the 30% weak spot damage and then move that up below grenade pouch and drop pyro or knowledge's power, because knowledge's power is only 10% more. It's not really needed, but it's nice to see the damage numbers, and paired with the DPS deck, you get 10% weak spot damage for your grenades, and you get to see the health bar, so it is pretty nice. But we're also going to take pyro if you're not going to be taking killer instinct, so when you run out of your grenades, then you can still pick up molotovs and do super damage and clear hordes of zombies out in set locations with molotovs. Also, if you use a molotov on a set of birds, it can jump you from like 1 to full temporary health, regardless of what your temporary health is. You get the temporary health off every single bird. So every Molotov on a bird or every Molotov on a crowd of zombies just shoots you all the way up to max health. I mean, it's going to be temporary max health, but yeah. So for 1 card, since we ran out of good cards to put in the build, Pyro actually fits the build and is really nice, so that's why I included that. And that is my boss killer deck. I do recommend this deck be used with a 2 deck glitch, and you're either running. Ideally, I would pair this with a DPS deck, whether it be shotgun, LMG, SMG, whatever. But a DPS deck. You could run it with Doc as well, but then you're kind of still really playing Doc and just killing bosses. Ideally, I think it's best with the DPS. And I hope that helps.